this is your first time designing a boardwalk system, you may not know where to start or where the process is going to go. And I can tell you, in designing many boardwalk systems, one of the first things that you'll want to evaluate is the alignment of the boardwalk system itself. Decide on the alignment, what the curvature is as you want to get from point A to point B at the end of the boardwalk system. Secondly, you're going to have to start thinking about what your geometric requirements are. How wide of a boardwalk system do you want? Then start thinking about your foundation system. Some areas, some soils will allow you to go with a shallow foundation system. Some are going to require driven piles. Think of a wetland or an area that's wet, or you're in a lake. You're probably going to have to put a deep foundation system, such as a pile type foundation. The next step in the boardwalk system is look at the loading conditions that you have to evaluate. And we have this clearly spelled out on our boardwalk design page. Sometimes the loading is not just people walking over the top, such as a pedestrian loading. Sometimes you have to evaluate maybe a gator or a maintenance vehicle going over the boardwalk. Sometimes owners want to see an emergency vehicle. Some even want to take utility vehicles, sanitation trucks or ambulances or fire trucks down the boardwalk system. Think about these wide promenades and boardwalks such as Coney Island or Myrtle Beach. They're very wide, and they run these vehicles up and down that boardwalk system. They are designed for 10, 15, 20,000 pounds of loading. So you have to take into account how much loading you're going to put on your boardwalk system. And then at some point in the process, you have to start looking at the railing and think about the purposes of the railing. Is the railing there just is it there for you want some transparency where you can see through the railing system, or is it there structurally to prevent people from going over the railing system itself? Is it there for observation reasons, or is it there to serve some other purposes? And then lastly, but one of the most important things, is you need to look at the material of the boardwalk itself. Are you looking at something that is maintenance important to you? Is durability important to you? Again, the loading conditions that might dictate the type of the material that you want to use or that you have to use on the boardwalk itself. And the cost is going to come into play when you start evaluating all of these components and pulling those all together. We can help you with the evaluation of the PermaTrak option if that's what you're looking at, and if that's required to handle some of the conditions that I've mentioned here today.